my business is based on following up, making sure we're there on time, always asking, hey, did everything run smoothly? How did we do? So give them a Google review link to give us a Google review as soon as we leave. Shake their hand before we leave. Give them that warm welcome feeling, knowing that the next time they need something, they're going to call me.
Welcome to Henderson HQ. This is the podcast where you get all the stories behind the businesses that make our community tick. Don't forget to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. Hey guys, today we're interviewing Julian, and I got to tell you, man, stay till the end of the episode. We started a little bit slow because this young 19-year-old man, this is his first podcast he's ever done. But dude, we really hit the stride by the end of the episode. So impressed by this guy. He's building a traditional physical business that you're going to want to hear about. He's on his way to like $1 million run rate. Just a really accomplished, impressive young man. And Sin City Junk Removal, Sin City Scrappers, just really amazing, right? Just please stick around for the whole podcast. Learn how this guy started the business 18 months ago, how he's growing, how he's employing people, and how he's marketing his behind off for business, and just growing something really special here in Henderson. So check it out. Enjoy the episode. Hey y'all, it's Scott Groves with the Henderson HQ podcast and newsletter. Don't forget to subscribe here and also to our newsletter at hendersonhq.com. I'm here with a friend of about 6 months, Julian Keven, who after you hear his story, you're going to want to go open a business of your own. Because when I met this young man, what are you, 19 now? 20?
Yeah, 19.
19, but geez,
Gonna be 20.
Excuse my language. 19, going to be 20 here soon, has a thriving business. We're going to get into all of that, how he built online, how he found the niche, like why he decided to do this. So Sin City Scrappers, not Scrapers, 2 Ps. Tell us what you do, man. First of all, let's start there and then we'll get into the backstory.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main thing that I do is, I help my local community pick up trash, and that's with junk removal. It's literally as simple as that. We go all the way from, donating to, giving out things, or, sometimes reselling for people who need it, even if it's only $50. So that's it's very crucial for people who are, who want a lot of things that are expensive, and then we're able to help them out a little bit.
Okay, so when I was first talking to you, you're like, all right, I started doing some research on whatever, ChatGPT when I was in high school, didn't know what business I was going to start. And
I was actually in college.
Oh, you were in college?
I was in college working for my mom, doing insurance. And like you said, I was literally on ChatGPT, just researching it. And I was like, man, how do I, just get out there. I was tired of, working a 9 to 5. Like,
okay,
it's every person that I've ever worked for has been a business owner, family owned. So it's like, that's kind of what I wanted to do.
So wanted to start your own thing, but you started telling me a story on how you were like looking for a void in the market.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you started with the, junk removal.
Yeah. So, well, at first it started with landscaping, and then I realized I did not want to do landscaping. It's a lot easier to make, the same that you would make in 3 hours, with junk removal in 1 hour. So not even, maybe 30 minutes. So
30 minutes of junk removal would have taken you 3 hours doing landscaping.
Exactly.
Same amount of money.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So when you started, I know that there were certain things that other people won't pick up in Vegas. What did you start with?
Like shed demos, jacuzzi demos, hot tubs, demolitions. Most people don't know how to get them out of there. They know how to get them in, but they don't know how to get them out. You know what I'm saying? So, but all we do is, we cut it up into 4 pieces with a freaking Sawzall and get it out of there, with manpower and a Sawzall. That's all you need, dude.
So do people not want to do that because of the fiberglass in the jacuzzi and stuff?
Oh yeah.
It's got to be miserable work, right?
Oh, it's a pain in the ass, but it's profitable. Like those hot tubs, I mean, depending on how many people it seats, like we charge $100 to $150 per person it seats. So yeah, it's.
So if you have an 8-person hot tub, you're going to charge me $1,000 to come saw it up and take it away?
No, that one would be about, depending on how big it is, because some 8-person hot tubs are smaller and bigger. Also, like the access points, because you got to be able to take out that hot tub, in a timely manner and efficiently, and you don't want to damage the people's property. So that's a major part of the price. So like for an 8-person hot tub, it would be $800 to $850.
So when we were talking, you were thinking about going into like a pilot type situation.
Yeah, aviation. Yep.
Aviation to fly commercial airplanes.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, I'll give my mom's company a chance because insurance is like the get rich slow business. And I know your mom.
Yeah.
Shout out. What company is she at again?
She's at with State Farm.
State Farm. Okay. And what's your mom's name? So we can
Stephanie Keven.
Stephanie Keven. Okay.
Yep.
So if you need insurance, call Stephanie. That's a pretty cush job. Like you don't get rich fast.
Nope.
But you sit behind a desk, you talk to some people, you quote out some insurance. What made you decide, like, you know what I really want to do? I want to operate a Sawzall in the sun of 100-degree heat in Vegas, tearing up jacuzzis. Like, why junk removal?
Well, I mean, it's the most fun business. It's a built-in, like, the business is literally a built-in rage room, except in everybody's houses. So like, if they really don't care about it, like, we'll just throw it off the balcony into the trailer. Like, we've had couches where they're on the top story, and we're like, we really don't want to take this down the stairs. So we look if there's like a little opening, and then usually like that's with like townhomes and stuff. But yeah, we just put the couch on the rail and shove it, and it just falls 2 stories down. It's amazing. It's so awesome.
So this is like really fun for you. You're really enjoying your job.
Yeah, I enjoy it because, not only does, it's fun, like I get the freedom that I get to spend time with my family versus having to tell somebody, hey, I need time off.
Right.
It's a lot easier, and, it works for me. That's just, how I'm built and how I am. Like I need my time, and my time is valuable, and, so is everybody else's. So like when I was working a 9 to 5, when I wanted time off to go, go to Dumont, go to those like sand dunes, go play in the sand, or go to Havasu, things with my family. It was very hard to say, hey, can I get time off? They'd be like, no.
Right.
And versus
the new guy.
Yeah. Or even when I was there for 9 months, working 60 hours a week, I was, at 16 years old at a RC store, I was grinding my ass off, you know what I mean? Online school, with 10 classes, mind you, so that I could graduate a year early, and then go to college early, because that's what I thought, what I needed to do.
Right.
But then, that's not what happened. And, yeah, it was a lot. It's a lot easier to just be my own guy and, run my own show.
So talk to us about, like, how long ago did the business start? What did you start with? And then, like, where are you at now? I mean, that's a short time frame, but pretty long journey. So
Yeah.
how long ago did the business start? And, I know because your mom being in insurance, you're doing everything right. You guys are insured and bonded and payroll and all that stuff. But like, tell us when you started, what you started with, and like where you're at today.
Yeah. So it started with, obviously, like I said, I was just looking around. And so I started with landscaping, but it started, in 2024 of November. And
So
that's
that's a year and a half,
almost a year and a half. Yeah.
and a half old. Okay.
Yeah. We just celebrated a year, actually. I bought some donuts for the guys at Boulder City Dump.
Nice.
Yeah, just so that, appreciate them, making sure our landfills are, safe and all that stuff, and allow me to do business, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we got licensed right away, insured right away, like all that stuff. And I started with a Cadillac 2004 Cadillac Escalade EXT. So it wasn't even a real truck, mind you. It's like the Avalanche version.
It's just like that little tiny
Yep.
bed with the weird crossbeam thing.
Yep, exactly.
That's not even a real truck.
No. You could put like covers on. Like I literally have maybe like half this table worth of space to put in there, and maybe like 5 feet. So it was,
Okay.
yeah, it was super short. The first 2 jobs that I ever did with that thing, I had to shove stuff like next to me on the driver's seat, and like it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Underbid that job, of course, because starting. But no, it was a journey, and I made it through those 2 jobs. But after that, I realized, I needed a not a dump trailer, but I needed a trailer, period. Just to haul stuff out of. So I looked on my local marketplace, and then the closest, best deal that I ever found was in Cedar City.
Okay.
Yeah, so I drove to Cedar City, Utah, because I couldn't pass the deal up, and I got this trailer that's not even 4 feet wide, and it's 10 feet long. But I was so happy, so stoked, because I can actually put a lot of stuff in there, like more volume, right? That's how I kind of started, and I was with that trailer for 3 months, 3 to 4 months, that truck and trailer.
And then where do we go from here? Because I've seen your most recent rig, which is not a 2004 disgusting looking Escalade truck.
Actually,
kind of pickup truck.
Believe it or not, it's not disgusting. Yeah, the Cadillac is actually really nice. It was just the work hog for a minute.
Okay.
But no, yeah. So right now I have a Titan, 2019 Titan, a way better truck. I was super surprised because everybody's like Chevy, Toyota, whatever. nobody really picks the Titans. But also, when I was my mom's age, she had a Titan.
Okay.
So she was like, come on, let's just get a Titan. So I agreed and said, okay, yeah, let's get the Titan. And then I got the Titan in, I believe, literally almost a year ago in March. It's, about to be a year.
Okay.
And then I still had that tiny trailer for about a month before I realized when I went to go quote a job, these people they were looking for professionalism, right? And I had like a little landscape trailer, you know what I mean? I had the truck, with the power to, eventually get a dump trailer, but I didn't expect to get it so soon because when I gave them a quote, it was the same quote that somebody else gave them. I beat them to it, and they still picked the other person because they had the bigger trailer. They didn't have to take it in as many loads. I think this lady had, she had a bunch of gym equipment that needed to go and from her storage unit. And I said, yeah, I'm going to have to take like, 3 trips. And she's like, okay. And then she's like, we will let you know by the end of the night. She didn't let me know by the end of the night, but she gave me an awesome review. And then I saw that, another junk removal company got it.
Just because they had a bigger trailer, or they had to do it in one pickup or whatever.
They were wrapped. They had everything organized. Like it just overall, like it was a company that I would pick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just by appeal.
What I love about you is you didn't cry about it or complain about it. I know that you took action. So what was the next step?
Oh, I bought the dump trailer. Yeah, I bought the dump trailer, and immediately, like 5 days after I picked it up in California, I got it custom built. It took like a week, but I got it custom built, and I went and picked it up with my mom, and we drove home, and not even 2 days later, I had it wrapped, and I had my truck wrapped, and I was so stoked. I was like,
explain to us what a dump trailer is, because for people that haven't seen it, like they won't conceptualize how big or industrial this thing is.
Right. So, I mean, dump trailers are generally pretty big. It's like almost, depending on how big it is, it's equivalent to, a 14 to 15 yard dumpster.
Okay.
So, and those things are huge, right? So my trailer is 12 feet by 8 feet by 4 feet tall. So 12 long, 8 feet wide, and then 4 feet tall. And also the difference between, like I said, landscape trailer earlier and dump trailer is, it has the hydraulic lift. So not only was it an upgrade for me, because when you first start, you have to load it in and then you have to load it right back out.
At the dump.
I remember after that lady, I also had another job. That same week, I had to shovel landscape rock for this guy, and it took me all week too. And I had that small trailer. I had to shovel it in, and I had to shovel it right back out. And that was about 11 trips just to the local landfill.
Oh,
yes. So I was beat by the end of the week. Like I was, so tired. Body was shaking.
Definitely underbid that one.
Yeah. No, actually, I got a decent amount for that job. That was the only thing. And that's what actually helped pay for the dump trailer.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
So now if you shovel in, 1,000 pounds of junk, you just pull up to the dump, the hydraulic lifts, and it all slides out.
Yeah, it's as easy as clicking a button. You open the doors, you click the button, and it lifts it up and slides right out, and you drive out and then put it right back down, and you're done.
And besides the fact that it's a giant rolling advertisement, because I've seen you, you pulled up for us to have empanadas. Your trailer's taking up like 8 spots. So it's an amazing rolling advertisement. But then, like, how much time do you think that saves you? Like, what was the investment on the trailer, and then how much time do you think it's saved you since you bought that 6-8 months ago?
Oh my God! I mean, the investment was huge. I mean, talk about a 5-minute dump versus an hour dump. Yeah, I shoveled rock for, let's say this customer has a hardscape job that requires boulders, all that stuff. Yeah, that's gonna take time, but at least the dump won't take time, because then you have to take it all right back out, right? So when I was doing those 11 loads, I mean, like I said, it took me all week. I guarantee you, it probably would have only taken me 3 loads, and I would have got that done in one day.
Yeah.
That's how much time it would have saved me.
Wow.
And how much money I would have saved to, going to the dump.
And yes. So your margins come down, like, one piece of whatever that dump trailer costs, 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever. One investment brings your time down, your margins up, your gas down, like,
right.
Well invested, right?
Oh yeah, it was I mean, it immediately started making me money. There's no doubt about it, because I could go from one job to the next within a 20-minute period of, going to the gas station to get gas plus dumping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was, if somebody said, like, if I have jobs scheduled, I don't have to do it like 5 hours in between because, I have to make sure, I'm doing all the proper things and whatever. But now it's just like you go, you dump, you go to the next job, and then you go and dump.
And this is kind of funny because like most people's trash bill just
Right.
gets worked in Vegas. I can't remember if it's part of your property taxes or just part of your water bill or whatever, but like no, very few people don't get like a separate trash bill. And it's like, oh, it cost me $95 a month to like have the trash man come by my house.
Right.
So can you explain to people like when you go to the dump, how do they measure that? Like, how do they charge you? Like what percentage of what you're charging the client goes right back to the city dump, which is a necessary evil.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much it costs to go to the dump.
Really? Okay. So pretty much they go by ton. So every 2,000 pounds is what they weigh you. So you drive over this weighing station and they give you the green light. You got your first weight. And then when you're done unloading, you're dumping, you come back and now you have a new weight, obviously, right? So now you're, less heavy. And then they go based off, I think the Boulder City disposal is about $58 to $60 per ton.
So 2,000 pounds you can get rid of for $60.
Yeah, pretty much.
That seems very reasonable.
It is until you realize like how much people actually have, like how much junk people actually have. Like I've gone in there, like average is 35 to 4,000 pounds.
4,000 pounds of people's junk?
Yeah.
Like I understand the hardscape, right? Like, okay, you want to redo your yard, you got to get out all the gray rock and you got to put in brown rock, or that I understand. But what else do people have that is weighing like literally tons of garbage? Like what's some of the interesting stuff you've thrown away?
Interesting stuff. Well, we actually had to do actually the same time me and you talked, when we met, I had to do a semi-truck trailer. We had to demo a whole trailer that was, abandoned on this guy's property, and the real estate agent was getting everything ready to get it sold. And she
Wait,
called
like the bed of a semi truck,
the
like,
bed of a semi-truck.
like a huge, what is that, 60 feet or something like that?
Oh yeah, like 50, 55 feet, 50 feet. And yeah, we had to, grind it with a concrete saw, and it took us probably like 3 days, just because that's hard steel, and that trailer was built, years and years and years ago, so it was good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the craziest things that I've had to dump. But we also recycle it.
It wasn't like, it was obviously stationary. You couldn't move it.
Right. No, had no axles, nothing. It was literally flat on the ground.
It's like a big storage bin.
Yeah. So it wasn't even, it was just flat. It was like a flatbed trailer, like those old ones where they like tow cars on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but that was the hard part, is that it was flat and level with the ground. So trying to, cut through it was, it was a challenge for sure.
How many saw blades you go through on that?
Oh my God. Like,
because I'm just thinking of like the number of tools you would have to have for that. My son Gabriel, who's just turned 10,
yeah,
he just took a welding class, and I'm like, well,
that's awesome.
If you had a plasma torch, it'd be pretty easy to get through that real fast,
right?
But a grinder or like a steel saw, concrete saw, whatever, that must have been a bitch.
Yeah, it was actually cool. If you look on my Instagram, my main Instagram, you'll see the picture. It's me, at that job with the sparks flying up in the air, hitting my dump trailer. So it's like literally lighting up the trailer at night, because we had to do this at night too. It was like a 3-day, all-day process.
Hey guys, just a quick ad from our sponsors here that make this podcast and our newsletter possible. Want to give a shout out to Ethereal Med Spa, a gym for your skin. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing anything proactive, all the way up to spot removal, all the way up to beautification, right, or vanity. Ethereal Med Spa, they got you covered. Scott Wright over at Wright Auto Body, love them. So anything from a scratch and dent to a big insurance job, all the way up to a custom rebuild of a classic car, they got you covered. And shout out to my buddy Casey Halstead, owner of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, which now has 3 locations. They just opened a new location on the west side. So they got our Henderson location, they got a Mid-City location, and they've got a west side location. So anywhere in the valley where you're looking to train jiu-jitsu, check out 10th Planet Las Vegas. Now back to the show. So what happens when you show up to like, people are like, I just want this stuff out of here. And you look at it and you're like, oh, well, there might be some value here. Like, talk about that, not just demoing the shed and,
right,
you get to have your daily rage room. But what happens when, sadly somebody passes, or there's just a junk trailer, or what my garage currently looks like. What about when you see things of value? Because I know that you guys are also doing some like resell and partner stuff, with the sellers. Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, so if there's donations, I mean, if stuff's in good condition, like a couch, dressers, like any furniture really, pictures, all that stuff, we typically just donate it to whoever, Goodwill, the Salvation Army, St. Jude's. Like, we do all that stuff. We look at it, and then we also give them a discount for the donation. So I'll price it full, and then I'll say, hey, you guys actually have really good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, a 5 to 10% discount, depending on how much you have, that needs to be donated, and we'll make sure that it gets donated. We also text them a picture of the receipt so that, they know that we actually donated.
And they get a tax write-off?
Yeah, exactly right. And if there's stuff of value, majority of the time, those people will tell me just to take it.
Oh, they just don't want to deal with it.
They don't want to deal with it. Like, I'll tell them, you could throw this on market. I just got a brand new 70-inch Insomnia TV the other day.
Because they just didn't want it in their...
They didn't want it. They were, he was moving out of Vegas and was going to back to Washington, D.C. And he's like, I have no room for this. I don't want it. It's brand new. Bought it 2 months ago. You can have it. And they were...
Sweet.
Yeah. And they pay me to pretty much take it. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, the playing field is nuts when it comes to, the stuff that you get. I mean, I'll resell couches for, couches go in the thousands,
right.
You know what I mean? Or a couple hundred at least. For me, if I see a good couch, I vacuum it, maybe shampoo it if I have the time, me and my guys, and then we'll go and list it up there for $150. That could,
like Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, exactly. Offer up Marketplace, and that'll help, people who are moving in that are on a budget. So that's how I think, we're helping people a little bit, because if they want nice stuff, they're going to have to pay thousands versus, if I get it and then we just shampoo it really good, we make sure it's nice, still livable on it, just all that stuff, comfortable. Yeah. Like, these people will take it. And that's what makes me happy, because, people actually want that stuff, and I'm giving it to them literally almost at like a 95% discount.
Yeah. So this is truly the one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. But, and that's how I give back a little bit, not only by donating, but, for people who who can't spend a lot of money, they can spend a little bit of money to get something nice still.
So should I be trolling your Facebook Marketplace like every day for deals?
Oh no, I got a bunch of friends that do that already.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So talk a little bit about marketing, right? Because people can have a great business idea. Maybe they even have some working capital. Maybe they even have a mom to guide them through how to get the insurance and everything done correctly. Because that was one thing when I was meeting with you and your mom and we were talking about investment ideas for you and stuff. She was like, I just want to let you know, we did this right. I've seen too many horror stories of businesses going under because they don't have an insurance. So like, I appreciate that your mom had the business acumen to help you do everything right. Oh, yeah. But yeah, you can have the greatest idea, and if you have no clients, you have no business.
Yep.
So how did you start marketing? Where has that evolved to? Are you paying to play? Are you just like, what are you doing? Where did it start a year and a half ago for marketing, and then what are you doing today?
Right. So I mean, marketing when I first started was on the Nextdoor app.
Okay.
I do actually not recommend that app, but a lot of people complain on it. But that's how I started. That's how I first started. And also, my aunt is a realtor, so she was like, "Hey, any of my realtor friends, need some, stuff removed in the next sale." Like, so that's how we kind of started too, and word of mouth pretty much. And then after that, it was like, okay, nothing's picking up. Like, nothing's like, after like a solid month, like I think 1 month I made like $500.
Were you freaking out? Were you like,
oh yeah, I was
all falling apart?
Yeah, I mean, I was freaking out a little bit because I was like, I hope I make the right decision. Because I was more worried about making my mom proud than anything, and not only her but me as as a person. Like, I was like, no, we're gonna get through it. Like, it's not easy, but like you have to kind of have that mentality. Like, anything is easy as long as you put your mind to it, and if you work hard enough, you're gonna get lucky enough. Right. You know what I mean? So
funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And most people don't understand that, but it's literally how it is. At least, work hard in the right areas.
Yeah.
But, and now my marketing is, I mean, it evolves so much because, I do recommend, listening to podcasts like this, listening to audio books or reading a book. There's so many books about junk removal. I'm sure there's so many books about the next business that, this
Wait,
next
dude,
person.
there's so many books about junk removal.
Yeah, on how to create a successful business. Yep, with junk removal.
So there's like junk removal for dummies and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's literally what it's called.
It's so crazy because like every time I hear somebody complaining about like, oh, I don't like my job, it's like there's literally a book on how to build a junk removal, which leads me to believe there's a book on how to start any business.
I got that information from our good friend Diana Dahlgren. She's actually Miss Supercross for, Monster Energy and all that stuff. We're good friends with her, and they're pretty wealthy, you know what I mean? And they have their own businesses. I think her husband's in the ammo business, so that's awesome. And then she has her, own clothing line, Salty Honey. I asked her for help. I said, hey, how do I, make my first $1 million? And she's like, join a group, read books, look at a podcast, do all that stuff, and you will get somewhere as long as you take initiative. And I was like, okay. I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this page that was called Junk University. So Junk University is literally, I don't know if you're familiar with school.
Yeah.
Okay, school. So I got a part of a school community, and it was called Junk University. And they literally, from top to bottom, have a blueprint of how to start your own junk removal business.
I don't know why it surprises me, but it still surprises me that there's a whole community of like junkers that are getting together, sharing their blueprints, sharing best practices. How much does it cost to be in that community?
Oh, I mean, you know me, I was, I wanted to take initiative and I wanted the best of the best. So, I mean, it cost me a couple $1,000s just to get the one-on-one coaching, but you can go in there and pay, I think it's like $79 a month. And you can still get all that stuff.
All the stuff.
Yeah, you just won't have the one-on-one coaching, but you'll have access to the Discord, be able to ask questions. But, to have the one-on-one coaching, they'll, go on a Zoom call with you or go on a Google Meet with you, and they'll talk to you like, hey, how's your business doing this week? They'll do constant checkups.
This is interesting because I run a coaching business, right?
Right.
Most men don't look into coaching until they're like in their 30s or 40s or beyond. Cause like when you're a dumb teenager or a dumb 20-year-old,
You think you know it all.
you think you know it all.
Oh.
Like, what was it about you that you're like, oh no, this is a big, I mean, had you ever spent $3,000 before for any type of education or training or anything?
Besides my first semester of college, I was honestly pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie. For a confident guy, I was pretty scared because, you're randomly taking a risk on somebody you see on social media. You know what I mean? And that was, terrifying to me.
What made you realize like I need coaching? Because I think a lot of people, they're scared to get to that point to either ask for help or they don't realize they need help. Like, what was it about you or that scenario or their pitch that you're like, no, this is what I need to spend money on? Which, by the way, cracks me up. You mentioned the school thing.
Yeah.
Cracks me up that the government or banks will allow you to go $100,000 in debt at college for a degree in nothingness, just pure garbage.
Yeah.
But
Literally.
there's no chance you could have got a loan for $3,000 to go through a junk removal course on school, and you've built a thriving business from it. So sorry, I keep cutting you off. I'm
No, you're fine.
processing my own thoughts.
No, so
What made you decide that you needed a coach, and what made you pull the trigger?
Oh, I mean, when Diana told me that, go look at all these things, I was like, okay, like, and she's like, get a mentor. I was like, okay, that's okay. And I looked at coaching as a mentor. I immediately knew that these guys were the guys that were going to coach me and, get me to where I needed to be. And I mean, they're making close to $4 million a year.
On coaching or junk removal?
Junk removal. Just junk removal.
Where are they at?
They're on the East Coast.
I think we've reached peak consumerism in America.
Yeah.
When there's probably thousands of multi-million-dollar companies that are just there to remove people's crap and junk.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I was just like, how can you make $4 million, taking somebody else's trash or demoing or whatever?
Yeah.
And they have the proof. They're constantly on their social media. And as soon as I saw that blueprint, I was like, okay, game on. Like this makes sense. You know what I mean? Like looking at all their sections, I mean, they'll tell you exactly, make sure you get licensed first. Make sure you get insurance. Like there's all these sections on the, introduction, telling you, like, they'll even put links for your state, depending on where you are, of all the stuff that you need for all the other links to go get licensed, go get, insured, whatever it is that you need to do, hauling permit. Thankfully, we don't really need that in Vegas, but other places like Utah, you do need a hauling permit, not only a city and a state license. So, yeah, as soon as I saw that, and I mean, they were so welcoming. It was, yeah, it was a great experience at the start, and it still is now. Like we constantly have Google Meets on Sunday or Monday, and it's like a friendly competition with all the guys. There's 130 guys. I remember when there was only about 40 of us, and now there's 130 guys, and I mean those guys are cranking in numbers like there's no tomorrow. There's a guy in California, um, and he's making close to 200,000 a month, and he's only been in business for the same amount as I have.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, California is a different playing field, but still, 200 grand in your first year and a half of business
Yeah.
as a 20-year-old.
So how many people do you have working for you now, either contract, particular jobs? Like, what's your pool of people that you can pull from if I was like, hey, I've got 1,000 square feet of junk in my RV storage. I need it all gone tomorrow.
A lot.
How many people can you call on?
I can call on about 10 people.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 reliable people.
And
Cool.
are you busy all day, every day at this point, or is it
Oh, yeah.
part of it?
Oh yeah, before this podcast, I mean, I was doing 2 jobs, so like I immediately had to rush home, freshen up, and I mean, I had like a 30-minute window before I got here, and it's a nonstop grind. Like after I'm done with this, I have a couple jobs that I have to go quote in person, and a couple jobs that I have to go do actually as well.
Okay. So what's been the evolution for you? Because like you're the owner of the company,
Right.
which is crazy to say at 19.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It was kind of really cool. As soon as I got my little logo together and I saw my business license come in, I was like, "Oh, this is so awesome!" Like, I was super ecstatic, and yeah, it was a good feeling for sure.
So you're the owner. I didn't even own my own TV at 19, by the way. I shared it with my roommate in the Army. So you're the owner of this business that's employing, 10 people, you got jobs every day. Like how many jobs a week are you doing? Or I don't know if you're comfortable sharing your revenue numbers
Yeah.
or where you're going, but like,
Yeah.
like how big is this getting and how big do you think it can get?
I mean, the sky's the limit, honestly. If as long as you put your mind to it, it's gonna be there, and I mean, you'll crank those numbers like nothing. And the biggest thing is confidence, right? A lot of people, you know, I would hear a lot of people tell me that I'm cocky, but I think they were mistaking that for confidence a lot. And you have to be, headstrong when you go into a business, because having all this stuff at 19 years old is no joke. You're adulting really quickly.
Like how big do you think this can get? Like a couple of years from now, do you plan to employ
Yeah.
100 people? Are you getting ready to buy a second truck? Like
Actually, I got the second truck. It's already in. It's nice. It's in your driveway right now.
I was going to say the white truck, like the Titan.
No. Yeah, we upgraded another truck because we're about to upgrade into roll off dumpsters. So it's gonna be
Roll off dumpsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's literally a dump trailer, but you have like those bins that your local garbage people will have. They'll they roll off the semi truck.
Yeah.
Pretty much they make trailers for that size of a truck, to where you can stack bins and you can roll them off. So we can drop them off at a person's residence, and they fill in the junk, and then we pick it up. So that's what we're kind of leading towards. And also just because so that we have more volume in the trailer, it definitely helps when let's say somebody has a full load of junk, and somebody's like, hey, can you come do this stuff like right now? Like it's an emergency. It's like, shoot, like if I'm all the way in Summerlin and I go to the dump in Boulder City and these guys are in Summerlin, it's like that's where I wish I had a bigger trailer or another crew, running that stuff. But I mean, in 4 years, I mean, I see myself being the biggest junk removal in here in Vegas. Like that's how confident I am. And I hope it gets that way, hope for the best, and expect the worst.
So how are you managing this all, right? Because going back to the mistakes I made as a young man, I worked for Washington Mutual Bank in my lifetime prior to 2008. Like banks don't fail. Like I got this great job at Washington Mutual. I'm going to be here my entire career. I'm going to retire a Wamulian is what they called it.
Oh my God.
And so like I wasn't thinking like, oh, I should have my own database. I should have my own Rolodex. I should have my own CRM. Like if I would have kept track of all the clients that I built in the first 8 years of my career, I'd be retired.
Oh yeah.
Because like I would have made plenty of money. So where are you getting the advice, or maybe it's in the school community? Like what are you using to manage this all? Because you've got to have scheduling and crew and payroll and CRM,
Right.
follow up and marketing funnels and like all this stuff. This is, I mean, at 46, I'm finally getting all this stuff under
Right.
control, and I still have gaps in my game. So like, where are you managing all of this? Like, what technology are you using? What platforms are you using?
Right. Well, technology is Google. Google's your best friend, honestly. ChatGPT is your best friend too. And yeah, like that school has a lot of information. Like, I learned a lot on how to run a business through CRMs, payroll, scheduling. Scheduling is very important because you want to seem professional when you go quoting a job. Like, you want to make sure, like, if you're gonna ask them for a deposit, okay, your scheduling is, set for this day, this day. It makes it so much easier, and it makes it a lot more professional as well. And it makes the customer feel, super secure that, yeah, you're going to come on this day, because a lot of people, believe it or not, with junk removal, they'll flake because they realize they underbid the job, and, they're like, oh, that's too much work. So then they'll just drop it and no call, no show.
Yeah.
And I've
But
had a
wait,
bunch of calls like that.
this finally solidified in my mind about a week ago when somebody told me this. We've had a really hard time finding good service providers in Vegas, whether it's contractors or handyman, or we finally got a good pool guy, we got a good yard guy. But like in Vegas, finding anybody to do, I've just got like a million projects around the house and I need a handyman. If you could do an add-on for a handyman business and actually run it with the same level of professionalism,
Mhm.
you will be 100 millionaire, because
Oh, yeah.
you can't find anybody good in Vegas. And somebody finally told me, they're like, dude, the contractors unions are so strong out here because there's constantly jobs on the strip, building new homes,
Right.
whatever. All the people you're getting to come, fix the handle on your toilet and, paint the bedroom or whatever,
Yeah.
they're all like the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 guys.
Right.
So the number of people that we've had either flake, or the air conditioning guy that did the air conditioning for the jiu-jitsu studio that we have here on the property,
Yeah.
he's like, bro, I start super early, man. And I'm like, well, I get up at 4:45. So seriously, come as early as you want. He's like, oh yeah, I'll be there by like 6 or 7. I want to get this done before the heat hits. He showed up stoned out of his mind at 11.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I don't really care, to each their own. You want to be stoned, great. But like, we got kids around and you're working with electricity, and I don't want you to die on my property.
Yeah.
So
that's a big,
lack of professionalism is a big problem in Vegas.
Oh, 100%. And I notice it every day on the road. Like, like I'm serious. Like, on the road, there's no professionalism, and I couldn't imagine, other service-based businesses. And yeah, I mean, coming in stone to come do your air conditioning, it just really mind boggles me. Like, some people just think like you can be comfortable with a customer immediately, because that just showed me, lack of responsibility, because you got to be responsible for the work that you're doing. Lack of responsibility, lack of professionalism, and no respect for the homeowner.
Right.
So, to me, like, my business is based on, like, following up, making sure we're there on time, always asking, hey, did everything run smoothly? How did we do? Give them a Google review link to give us a Google review as soon as we leave. Shake their hand before we leave. Give them that warm welcome feeling, knowing that the next time they need something, they're going to call me. So instead of, are you going to call that stone guy again?
Never.
Never. Exactly. And yeah, it's a big part of how you run a business, 100%.
You are wise beyond your years. So kudos to your mom and dad for whatever they taught you.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about like the guys that you're hiring, right? Because you're 19-year-old young men. I'm guessing you're hiring other 19-year-old young men that you from high school are people or whatnot. How do you convey that level of professionalism into them, right? Like how do you set the tone as the leader to be like, hey, yeah, we are swinging sledgehammers and demoing
We're having
stuff.
fun. Yeah.
We're having fun, but there's a certain level of like professionalism.
So pretty much I have a little powwow with the guys after, if I see something wrong. I'm not afraid to tell them, because at the end of the day, it's either my business fails because we're not being professional, or they're just gonna fall out of love with what they're doing with me. You know what I mean? I always tell them, like, you have to look professional, you have to be professional, and I'm not scared to tell them that, because it's fine to have fun on the job. I have no problem with that. It looks cool, it's fun, tearing couches apart, like if they're trashed, obviously, but throwing things off the balcony. We do it with a level of respect and professionalism enough to where, I don't really have to say anything to them, but it's easier to talk to them before and after, because then they're going to know, what I expect as a business owner, what I expect, as your boss, to respectfully as your boss to handle what job we're doing and, make sure that the customer feels satisfied. The homeowner's not only just watching me, they're watching how I control my guys
Yeah.
or how they're controlling themselves. They have no problem with doing that at all, and they listen right away. I mean, these guys are hungry. They'll do anything for, making sure that they can get paid because I'm going to be honest, I pay a lot better than a normal, part-time job would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not that I want to share this stuff, but like normal part-time job, you're
Maybe minimum wage here, right?
minimum wage.
Maybe some tips.
Yeah, maybe some tips, and that's what if you're lucky, $80
Yeah.
here in Vegas.
And the beautiful thing is you're building a business that can't be replaced by AI. Until we're full robot, robot revolution and robots can do everything, like you're not going to get a software program to go tear down a shed.
No, absolutely not.
Was that part of the consideration when you were building this? Because like the business is new enough, like you had to be thinking about this, right? Like, no offense to your mom, no offense to me on the loan officer side or the insurance side. More and more, it's just going to be online bots, talk to this robot and get a quote. Like that's kind of scary for people like your mom and I who put in 25, 30 years in an industry. And it's like, ooh, AI might be coming to eat our lunch, but not your lunch.
Yeah, no.
I might be working for you one day.
It's funny because people talk about AI like it's a bad thing, but obviously I'm sure like like if you leverage it, you can use AI to build your business and eventually take it over. Maybe not the labor part, but everything else. Like I try to leverage it as much as possible, especially like when you're asking me how do I market now. Like the way my marketing is based off what I learned in the school and what I plug into ChatGPT, and then I put it in there and I put something that feels good to me, sounds right to me. I make sure it's absolutely perfect before I post it, even if it gets like 10 likes.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just how the algorithm is working that day. But other than that, I make sure that everything's set in place and I'm using AI to make me money pretty much.
So where are all the places we kind of got off the track?
Yeah.
But where are all the places that you are advertising to get business?
Facebook groups. 100%, especially, with like John's group.
Yeah, Living in Henderson, great group.
Yep.
If you're watching this and you're not in the Living in Henderson Facebook group, you're missing out.
Yeah, seriously. And there's always activities to do on there too, which is really cool. It's a very community-based, group. But, realtor groups, anything on Facebook, all the groups on Facebook that you can find that allow you to post, your business on there. I mean, that's how I market, and I don't have to spend a dime.
So are you getting any leads yet from, like, you mentioned you're giving everybody Google reviews, is Sin City Scrappers, like, are you getting organic traffic now from people finding you on Yelp or Google or whatnot?
Yeah. When I told you, like, I got a call from this guy on my way here.
Right.
He said, yeah, a realtor actually recommended you. And I'm like, oh, okay, which realtor? They'll tell me. And I was like, yep, I know them. Okay, cool. And then, a lot of people say, hey, I heard from so-and-so, or, you know what I mean? Like it's constant now. Instead of like when I first started, I had to wait for somebody to respond to me, or I would text them when they said, hey, I need a local junk guy.
Yeah.
But then 10 bids would go out at the same time versus now, they want to speak to me personally.
Yeah.
So, and that's the beauty of, organic marketing and word of mouth.
So how long before you won't have any time to go on any jobs, maybe quoting jobs, but like you got to be getting pretty close to, like, there's just not time in the day for you to do a demo. If you're, quoting bids, running the marketing, running the scheduling, like how far away are you from like, oh yeah, I don't have to even swing a hammer anymore?
I'm honestly not that far. I would say I'm 75% there. It only takes a truck and trailer to make 6 figures.
All right, say that again for the people in the back.
So it literally only takes a truck and trailer, a good truck and trailer, obviously, to make 6 figures a year.
6 figures.
6 figures a year.
So with 2 trucks and trailers, 3 trucks and trailers, you'll be up to like $1 million run rate here pretty soon.
Yeah, like that guy that I said is in California. I mean, he's $200,000 a month is a lot, and he's got 4 trucks and trailers.
What's been most surprising to you as far as like the overhead cost and the things that maybe you didn't expect, and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting this bill, or ooh, this is a little more expensive than I thought. What have been some surprises as like the business owner where you're like, oh yeah, I might have overshot what I'm spending?
Yeah, definitely. Like ads for sure. Leads. If I do pay for leads on Thumbtack, those will sometimes pop up, and it's like, whoa, like this guy must need a lot of stuff removed because I just got charged $88
Right.
like straight to my bank account.
Yeah.
So like those are some of the things that I didn't quite expect when I first started, but I wasn't expecting for the city and state licenses to be, they're kind of cheap, honestly, for licenses, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And the insurance isn't too bad either, but it definitely eats away at your overhead for sure.
Do you have any idea what your like, not the dollar figure, but like your profit margins, like after I paid the team, after I
Like what I'm trying to get, like,
Yeah.
so I try to get anywhere in between like 75 to 80%
margins?
profit. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
No, not at all. No. And if you're not doing, that amount, it's like there's something wrong in your system. You're, building your business the wrong way or something's wrong. Like you need to find that hole real quick.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're making below 50% or even 65%, it's like you're barely getting by.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it in perspective, like if you look at the numbers and stuff, you'll realize like, dang, I actually didn't make that much money.
Okay.
If you're looking at 50 or 65%.
All right, perfect. And what are like the next things that you see coming, right? Because like I can think of a world where, oh, I'm here removing trash. Why don't I also I can think of a million things, cleaning out the gutters, right? Going like bringing on a landscaping crew that maybe you just get like a referral fee on, or hanging Christmas lights, or whatever. Like I can think of a million things around the home that like, if you're professional, you're showing up on time, you're shaking hands. I know I would be thinking like, oh, actually, I've got something that needs to be removed from trash. I got a freezer that's been sitting in my yard over there.
Really?
That was like in the guy.
We'll get it right now.
Previous owners just like left it here, and I got to throw this thing away. I was thinking about like turning it into like a cold plunge, and then I'm like, I don't have time for that shit. I'll just buy a cold plunge.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But like if you showed up with that level of professionalism, I would immediately be thinking of like, oh man, I wonder if this kid, no offense, if this kid's company does X, Y, or Z or A, B, C, like what's next on the roadmap for you guys for like other services?
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because of how professional we are, they're like, hey, do you guys do moving services as well? Like they want us to help them personally. Cause like, they're like, hey, do you guys want to do like our landscaping? Like we'll pay you, or, they're always asking us, and it's mainly like the landscaping and the moving. Cause that's kind of like right next to the junk removal area.
Right.
I would say, like I wouldn't mind growing the business into, and I think a business that, we should have in Vegas is, or anywhere, honestly, a business where it has all your needs, right? All your services in one business.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Because right now we have to manage a different pool guy, a different gardener, a different.
Hey, does anybody have a landscaper you recommend? Like,
yeah, all the time.
No, I want to build a business where it's like, once we get big enough, I wouldn't mind, expanding our services and getting, like hiring professionals who are licensed. Obviously, I'll get licensed for all that stuff to be the owner, hire the professionals to go do that service, and when people say, hey, does anybody know a landscaper? And a junk removal guy. Yeah. Sin City Scrappers Junk Removal, or, Sin City Scrappers Landscaping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one business, like, well, obviously mine is Sin City Scrappers, but, it's like Sin City, like, it kind of correlates with each other, and they'll know.
If it was Sin City Home Services, I could see you like, somebody's a new homeowner. They're like, hey man, we need you to come remove all this trash that the previous owner left. Great. While we're there, do you need a bid for?
Yep.
Everything,
Exactly.
landscaping, pool, cleaning services, whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a nightmare to manage that stuff. I had a buddy, I always make fun of him. He's, well, I'll just say I have a buddy. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And he has a house manager. Because by the time it's like, oh yeah, once a quarter this needs to be done, and then once a quarter this needs to be done, and then he lives in a really cold area, so the pool has to be drained over the winter, and he's like, he's pretty wealthy, but he's paying a company like yours to just be like, I don't want to think of anything. Come through once a month, do an inspection. If there's a doorknob that needs to be tightened, all the way down to like the pool needs to be drained, something, and he's just got a guy like you that shows up once a month, goes to the house, and he's like, all right, that'll be $3,700 for everything we have to do this month. And he's like, cool, just take it off my plate so I can come home with a clear head, and just enjoy my house, right?
That's very, it's actually very crucial to have a clear and clean space.
Yeah.
Like obviously I'm doing everything right now, but like to your friend's point, like I want a clear and clean space. Like it's when, I have a house now, which is kind of crazy, but,
Bought a house?
Yeah, I got a house of a little after we met.
Nice. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah. Literally 7 houses down from my parents too.
Yeah, not a lot of 19-year-olds have their own house.
No, not at all. It was either that or the college dorm, and
Right.
that's not the life. Sorry.
So do you have like your whole crew living with you now? It's just like around pad for Sin City Scrappers.
No, well, actually, if they'll crash over there. I got a mini fridge for them and everything, sodas, waters, all that stuff. Whatever they want, honestly. But no, it's very important, that I keep my house clean because I don't want to come home to stuff all over the place or breakfast still out. And I'm kind of anal about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely helps clear your mind because it's one less thing you have to worry about.
It's funny you mentioned that because I talk to coaching clients about this all the time, especially post-COVID. A lot of financial professionals, financial advisors, mortgage people, real estate, they work from home now. They don't go into an office. And I'm like, trust me, the human brain, this comes from the book, Getting Stuff Done.
Okay.
The human brain can only keep like 7 open tasks in their brain, like at any given time. So if on the way from your house over to your home office, like I have, you're like, oh, the garage needs to be cleaned out. Oh, I still got that ivy on the back of the garage that I've got to tear down. Oh man, I've been meaning to get rid of this freezer in my, spare yard for 6 months.
Right.
All of a sudden you have these open loops in your brain around your house and you can't fully commit to business.
Right.
So I think other than it just being nice, having like a clean workspace and having a home that's like reflected of all the projects are done, it actually opens up mind space to think about business stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking up like 3 of your 7 available loops with shit around the house,
Right.
and then you're like, oh, I got to dive in deep to like my marketing tasks, your brain's already like 30, 40, 50% capped out on what it can think about.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, you should just advertise that we make home offices more efficient.
No, yeah, seriously. And it's crazy because a part of that is like I would say a good piece of advice was and it's literally so simple, and we've been taught it since we were 7 years old, right? Make your bed. Make your bed in the morning. Why? Because your mind's already programmed to start work today. You got, make sure your bed is made, then go brush your teeth, go do your stuff, right? Like, but I promise you, when you make your bed in the morning, it's like, cool, I completed one task for the day, on to the next.
So let me close with a couple Henderson specific questions.
Yeah.
Since you're out here. What's your favorite fast food to pick up for the crew when you're in a busy day and they need calories?
Oh, In and Out.
Perfect.
Yep.
What's a business other than this full service home business which you're going to build? What's like a business that like Henderson's missing that you're like, man, I really wish this was in Henderson so I didn't have to drive over to the other side of town to get it?
I would say the business that I'm going to work on, like,
Perfect.
that's literally it. I mean, people need the business that, like you said, the house, or the main business to call one guy for everything.
Perfect.
That's the only thing they need, really.
And then leave us with this, man. What's over the last year and a half journey, what's been the most rewarding part for you of this whole thing?
The most rewarding part, I would definitely say, is my dad was very hard on me, so it was making him proud. So when your father tells you, and he's not even my biological father, he's my stepfather. He's the father that took care of me, raised me, everything. And I thought that he was just being hard on me because he hated me. The most rewarding thing in the last year and a half was him saying, "I'm proud of you, son." You know what I mean? Like, it was an amazing feeling, and I couldn't stop thinking about it the first night that he told me it. Like, because I never thought I would hear those words come out of his mouth. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad to say that because, as a father, you should be proud, whatever thing you're accomplishing. But like, what I'm accomplishing is like, damn, son, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Like, you're killing it. Like, that's exactly what he said. He's like, you're killing it. And, I just, you're one I don't have to worry about. And that hit me hard because I'm like, I'm the middle child of like 9 siblings. So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
He's got a lot on his plate.
It's fun and cool to, at the end of the day, they're going to rely on me when the time is needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I would say that is the most rewarding part. And, also time with the family. So more vacation days.
Perfect, man. So for anybody looking for any jobs around the house, man, Sin City Scrappers, not scrapers. It's 2 P's,
Right.
Scrappers.
There you go.
Look them up on Instagram. What's your email so people can get in touch with you?
Yeah. So my email is scsjunkremoval@gmail.com.
And we'll make sure that we get the website and everything up in in the show notes and whatnot. Thanks for being on, man. We're gonna have you on in a couple months when you hit like $1 million run rate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be super excited to do that.
In another year and a half, I can buy you a beer to celebrate, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. I'm gonna be 20 in a couple months, and I'm like, dang, I'm gonna be 21 in a year after that. Like, it's mind-boggling, but
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on all your success, man. We'll talk soon.
Awesome.
Hey, it's Scott Groves with the Henderson HQ podcast. I hope you got something out of that episode. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast. It really helps the show grow. And by the way, if you are a business owner or you know a business owner who has an interesting product, service, or just an interesting backstory, please get in touch with us. Email us at thehendersonhq@gmail.com. We would love to interview you because that's what this show is all about. It's about building community, supporting local, individually owned businesses, and just making Henderson a great place to live. And don't forget, go to hendersonhq.com and make sure you sign up for our newsletter. We send out a once-a-week newsletter, no spam, about the most interesting local businesses, hotspots, restaurants, community events. Thanks for watching the show. Really appreciate you.